One day I suddenly realized as a grown woman that my parents were one day going to die. And she was like inconsolable, thinking that. And her boyfriend was like, what's wrong? She's like, my parents are going to die one day. And he was like, had you not thought about that before? She was like, no. She kind of thinks exactly what's in front of her, like a spotlight to what exactly is in front of her at the time.
Well, that's perfect,
yeah, it was
right?
really interesting.
Yeah.
So things like that, I was like, wow. And then Greta's like, references for, okay, I want the cadence of your speech to be like, we did this thing called movie church. So every Sunday morning we would invite all the cast and crew, whoever wanted to come to the Notting Hill Electric Cinema, which is such a good cinema, and watch a movie that was somehow related to Barbie.
Like what, for example?
So like, for example, we'd watch His Girl Friday because Greta would be like, I want all the Barbies at the dance party to have that rhythm, like when they speak, like it should be like da, 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 da. And it's funny, Greta sometimes I think she uses this to find the comedy in scenes too. She doesn't look at the monitor, like she closes her eyes and she just listens to a scene.
Yeah.
She's really tuned into like the rhythm, which is really interesting. But then there might be a reference like we'd watch The Red Shoes because we were coming up with the lot for the camera, like the color chart, the IB Tech, we called it Techno Barbie because we wanted it to look like that, kind of like really poppy, saturated 50s soundstage musical. Or we'd watch 2001 Space Odyssey because there's a reference. Gosh, we watched so many movies.
What a nice thing to do.
It was the best. It was so fun. Coming up with the character was weirdly difficult, and I wouldn't think playing a Barbie would be difficult, but then I realized I had nothing to grab onto, and it did take me a second. But I did know, and it was evident in the script, that I wanted there to be an evolution between how she is at the beginning and who she is at the end. And at the beginning, she is a doll and she doesn't introspect and she's never experienced something like shame and she's never experienced, there's so many things she hasn't